righty, welcome everybody to the October board meeting. I hope everybody is doing okay and in recovery mode or well recovered by this point from our storms or storm that has passed, thankfully. So glad to see everyone tonight. Just letting you know, we're going to have a pretty brief meeting tonight. We know everybody has a lot going on right now, so want to be respectful of everyone's time. So we don't have as full an agenda as we might normally have, but I will share with you what we do have for tonight. And we're kicking off here now. We will, of course, have a few moments for public input and comments. Again, most of you, I think, know, but all our agendas are always on board docs. You can follow along. And if you need any guidance around the public comment, those guidelines are there as well. But we really allow every person 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes if they so choose, to make a public comment. And we'll utilize the chat if you would like to use that to raise your hand or let us know if you'd like to make a public comment. So we'll do that in just a minute. We will also vote and approve the September 13th minutes from our last board meeting. And then we have a couple of updates from Patrice on the building, and I know we have a vote that we need to accomplish tonight. So we'll definitely do that. And I do believe that if Sarah is on, she just wanted to give a very brief PTO update as well. So other than that, unless we have any other committee updates that we need to cover, that will be about it for tonight. Sound okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, great. So now is our moment. If anyone would like to make a public comment for up to 3 minutes, please let us know in the chat, and then we can ask you to unmute. Give everybody a minute, just in case you get inspired. Okay. All right, going once, going twice. All righty. No public comments this evening. Okay. So we're going to keep on buzzing right along here and head back to check on the minutes from September 13th, which you all should see in board docs. So any questions about the September 13th minutes that were shared?
No, I'll make a motion to approve the September 13th minutes as written.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. Should be good for that one, Kristen.
Awesome. Okay. Easy enough. Okay. Over to you, Patrice, for your.
Okay. Yes, thank you. First off, just want to again, just, you know, we're all very thankful that we have come through it as best as we could. We're just always very mindful of those who are going to be struggling and having a long uphill battle, and we'll be finding ways to support. There may be a way of us even supporting some Montessori schools in that area, but we'll know more as we get farther along. The storm updates for just both schools were really fortunate. We had a large portion of our beautiful brick fence behind the IMHS that fell. And Jared has noted that it didn't have the best construction, didn't seem to have rebar, it didn't seem to have footings, didn't seem to have a lot of things that you would think it would have had. And if anybody's ever been back there, there is definitely a drop off. So that's something that we'll be looking at to repair. We do have branches and debris that also came at IMHS. Little bit of water, you know, just coming underneath the doors, but in a small leak. But that was it. We did have some fence damage at IMO, not too extensive, but we did have some fence damage at IMO. We did have a large tree that was down near the pavilion. And so, and a lot of branches, because it is such a tree area. We had a lot of branches and debris, and, you know, the custodians did a great job, and as well as some staff like Dave, and I think Kathy went out, you know, to do some cleanup. So we really appreciate that. Again, we really feel like we were fortunate. We do have a construction update after the storm as well. As some of you may remember, we were posed to go ahead and have the basketball court finished. I think it was supposed to be October the 8th. We're hoping that they're going to be on site still at the end of this week. The owner said they would keep them updated. And so when we meet on Thursday, we should, if we haven't heard from them by then, we would expect to know what's going on a Thursday building meeting. Just for those of you who may remember the long story about the electrical panel that we needed to get near where the basketball court is right now. Last year, that was the one we needed for the modulars, and it was the one item that was a part of this entire stream for, you know, being able to get materials into properties. And so that famous electrical panel is going to be repurposed, and we are going to use it on Fuller's Cross. So we're going to use that on Fuller's Cross, and there's going to be some items that will be left there. But that's what we're going to be doing for doing that for that piece. The irrigation, we are still working and waiting to hear back. There is some broken irrigation in IMO that still needs to be repaired, and we are still waiting to hear from that. Right before the storm, we hope that we had figured that out. We had some people that are actually next door to the school that we hope are going to be able to help that out. They unfortunately are now in the middle of doing a lot of cleanup themselves. So hopefully they will be available to fix some of the irrigation and the broken lines. We do have a little update on the Fuller's Cross well. It was scheduled to be abandoned last Wednesday. Obviously that didn't happen. But we do still plan for it to be abandoned on 10/7, and the new well is going to be installed. We're basically just moving where that well is located. Other than that, we haven't heard if there is any more problems on that property in terms of how much water. If you may remember, we were trying to de-water that part of the property, but we haven't heard too much. I haven't gotten an update on that, if it's experienced that much. It seems like we're in good shape, basically being, just being on the property and seeing what I'm seeing. Again, Thursday, we may hear a little bit more, but those are those details. Any questions about the storm update for the buildings or construction? Okay. So I do want to make you aware, one thing that is not up for a vote, but I did want to get it into the minutes, Kristen, is this statement that I make that as a reminder, the innovation discipline policy was approved back in April. That included the OCPS, and I remember talking about it at the time. You may not remember, but that also included OCPS's bullying and harassment policy, that we adopted OCPS's policy, and we made that a part of the Montessori discipline policy. So Stacy, thank you. She signed the selection form. It's that time of the year where OCPS needed to have our selection form signed by the board. And I just wanted to make a note that it was approved. So we signed it as of April, because that's when we approved it. Any questions about that? And then the next is the one that we always vote on every year, and that is for those teachers that are out of field for IMO and IMHS. We have one teacher at IMHS and the other teacher is at IMO. And these, again, I verified with Amira, these again are for that ESOL requirement, that those are on the board we hear about every year. You may or may not notice, maybe that's something that we could do going forward. Even though the list does look long, There are new people on the list, and the other people who have completed their 300 hours are no longer on the list. So I do want to just call out, we do have many people who have completed this requirement and are no longer on that list. But we do need to have this voted on tonight, and we don't have to call out the names, but we just ask that you put them in the minutes like I communicated to you, so that when I get the copy, I can send it to OCPS. And then just so you know too, one of the things we also have to do, we also have to put these names out on our website, which we do every year as well. So we need to have a vote on these teachers who are out of field.
Any other questions for Patrice beforehand?
And just so, and I know we've talked about it in the past, but the steps that these teachers will be taking would be what?
So they have to take one 60-hour class under ESOL every year for 5 years. There's a total of 300 hours. Some teachers end up taking just 120. They take 2 courses and then they take a test that the state offers. Many teachers just simply take 1 a year and get it done in the 5 years.
Okay.
So Patrice, we would expect, we would expect the names on this list to eventually be off this list. Nobody is permanently out of field.
Right.
Just
exactly.
like names have come off the list in the past, and
Exactly.
it's just a rolling thing. There's always going to be some that haven't finished it yet because they're in the earlier part of their career.
Right.
Right.
Okay. There's nothing else. I'll move to approve this list of out of field teachers.
Second.
All approved?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
So the only other thing I wanted to add, which I didn't put on the report, but I did want to just, since we have people here, the public is here, I do want to make sure everyone knows that we will be messaging probably in the next couple of weeks whether or not we have to make up the missed days. One of the things I really appreciate is that Kathy and Jared, both working with their custodial staff, approved our buildings to be able to be used again. And so that did save us 1 day. We believe, based on the information we've gotten from OCPS about the required minutes per year that we have to have, we believe all schools have enough minutes that we may not even have to make up the time, but there may be a different decision. And when Kathy returns, Kathy, Jared, and I will have that discussion. But right now, we do have school. I've had a lot of questions about school on Friday. School on Friday is still no school for students. It is a teacher work day. And many of our teachers are probably going to be working from home.
Good to point that out. Yep, I've heard
Yeah.
questions too.
Any other questions?
No, thank you, Patrice.
Okay. Sarah, I know you had a quick PTO update for us.
Yes, hey guys. So just a quick touch on our Fall Fest. It was very well attended. We had over 650 guests and we generated over $5,000 in revenue. All of the revenue will be used for upcoming PTO events, our IMHS PTSO, working towards the shade structure, and then we're also voted to approve grants to help students with the Nature's Classroom field trip. The big announcement that we wanted to go over today was we are going to be hosting our first ever walkathon. It's the Slam Dunk for Sports Walkathon. It will be held on Innovation Montessori main campus on October 29th at 10 a.m. It's for all grades, primary through 12, and 100% of the proceeds will go to fund IMO sports teams and athletic department. Our goal is to raise $25,000. We're going to be working with a software called 99 Pledges. So each child will be able to register with a $5 registration fee. They will be given a private, secure link, and they can share that on social media, email, text, flyers, however they want to distribute it. We'll have fun things like a DJ, bubble machine, bounce houses, props, and we're also going to be doing a sports memorabilia raffle. So all students, staff, and parents will start at the same time. And then 15 minutes into the event, primary will stop, and then they'll cheer on the rest of us. And then 20 minutes later, lower L will stop, and so on and so forth until high school brings up through the finish line for us. For the board, we're asking for, if you guys have.
We have to go the whole time, Sarah? I'm like, wait, everybody else is getting to stop. I'm hearing the board has to go the whole entire time.
Well, I mean, you stop with your age group, right? So I'm in lower L. I've only got an hour now. We were hoping you guys may have some contacts for either a DJ or an audio equipment that we would like, maybe a bubble machines to borrow or rent. I don't know if you guys have a bounce house contact, a contact maybe at Publix, Walmart, or Target that could donate like oranges, waters, granola bars. Another big ask is if you guys have any connections with our local teams, Solar Bears, all the other sports teams, Orlando City Soccer, if they want to donate items for our raffle, we'll be posting them online so we can have a virtual raffle. So if you guys have any contacts with any of Orlando Magic, any of those that we can help make those connections. We're also going to be having high school student government work there and the PTO, but any additional ways to grease our way into some of those, that would be very appreciated. So those are our big asks, if you guys have that. And then just quick updates for this week. This Thursday is our Spirit Night at West Orange Creamery from 3 to 7 p.m. When you go there, just mention IMO.
Well, look, can I understand what she's saying if you're talking?
Hi. Then don't forget the high school ribbons upcoming. Our next PTO meeting is October 18th. And then we have the walkathon, whoop, whoop, 10/29. And then the chili cook-off is November 12th. And we are also combining it with our book fair. So that's very exciting. So the book fair is going to be ran by our wonderful mom, Ariel, and we're going to be hosting the chili cook-off on the same night. It'd be great. And then November 18th, we're going to be doing a spirit night at Kissimmee Ice Factory so we can all skate and enjoy each other's company. And that's the PTO update. Any questions about any of that?
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much for
Very active.
working hard and putting all of these events together. It just sounds like it's such good positive news. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I was for the walkathon. Is there like a need list somewhere, kind of like you do the sign up list thing that we can go and reference, or?
Yes, I can email you, or I maybe I'll just email Kristen the list of like what we were hoping to get.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you guys can let me know if you have any contacts, and I'll just, check it off the to-do list for this. It's a big undertaking. So we're excited. It's a short turnaround. So I'm kind of calling all hands on deck for the fundraiser.
For sure. That'll be great. So then I can kind of look and see where we can.
Yeah, this is because we thought the boosters may take some time to get up and running, and the amount that was quoted that we need for athletics this year will be about $19,000. So if we can have that and then a little extra in the bank that athletics can pull from so they can get started and established, all the money is going to be going for like field rentals, uniforms, sporting equipment, all the things.
Got it. Okay.
Thank you, Sarah, for making that happen. Really appreciate it. I'm excited. I kept waiting to hear how staff gets to, don't we get to do something and get our own money, so.
You can have a pledge.
Well, so we're going to be having like a props table in the middle, and people can bring like $1 or $5 for whatever prop it is. And like, oh, you get to wear this silly hat or this silly wig, or, oh, Patrice gets to wear that and do a lap wearing this or this jersey. So that's another fun, like side financial endeavor during the walkathon. So that could be cute, seeing all the teachers and staff and coaches. We want all the coaches there, all the teams there in their jerseys, just really making it a positive community event.
Sounds great.
And
Yes.
I'm sorry, what was the time again on the walkathon? What?
It's at 10 a.m. and that's the start time.
Thank you.
Awesome. We are glad to help. Lots of things going on.
Yes, lots
Fun to
of
be
things
back
going.
swing on all these activities.
Oh my gosh, all the parents are so excited to be back in person. We had a really good feedback with the Fall Fest. So I'm excited to keep offering in-person options for people.
Mhm. Yeah, great turnout on that. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm gonna
Okay. Board, any other committee updates or any other topics we want to discuss tonight? I will be reaching out to a couple of you just to keep us moving with our interested board member candidates who are floating out there, to keep having some conversations. And I know that we are looking at the grand opening, obviously having moved since the last time that we met. So I don't know if there's anything that we need to mention with that, but did invite a few people to volunteer and help out for that as well. So
I would, I'll just add that everything was pretty buttoned up and ready, for the event. So I just reopened the registration again. And so people can still go and register. I think there's 279, Lachey and Jared and the team have everything ready. So they've run the show with that.
Perfect.
and
Jared,
the
do you
date
have your hand
is
up?
October.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Jump
did.
in,
I'm
Jared.
so polite.
Just
Yeah, you can just jump in.
I was
Trying
just going to reiterate
yeah.
the date for the purposes of the recording. The date of the grand opening is now October 19th,
19th. Yeah.
Yes.
right? And that is going to run from 5:30. No, 5
Be
o'clock.
5 to 7.
Okay,
Yep.
5 to 7. Thank you. I'm not looking at my calendar here. Okay, perfect. Over to you, Jared.
Yeah. So I was just going to give a quick update on a couple things. I wanted to mention, I had a chance to look over the plans for the ribbon cutting. Our students have really worked hard on the activities, and I think it's going to be a fantastic evening for everybody who's able to come. So I'm really looking forward to that. Just a quick staffing update as well. We have a new Spanish teacher and a new math teacher that will be starting with us on Monday. So we'll be officially fully staffed at IMHS, which is nice. And both of the new teachers come highly recommended, and we're really excited about them joining us. Yeah, I think those two pieces were what I wanted to share. Thanks.
Thank you, Jared. Awesome. Kristen, just let us know if we need to set up some times with people specifically on that. I mean, I'm happy to take on some meet and greets. So
Yes, we will need to do that. So
yeah, just assign me.
I
Yeah,
will.
you just gotta AJ do it. And
Yeah.
it's fine.
Okay. Emails coming your way.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, thank you everybody for just pulling it together after a crazy week last week. Just the staff and admin and students. I think everybody was ready to be back in school and just have some normalcy. So it was, I know my kids were super happy coming home every day, and they were just happy to be back at school. So, if I'm seeing that on my end, I'm sure that there's a lot of other families that are seeing that as well. So thank you very much.
All righty.
Yeah, I think we're going to hit out, 6:55, Kristen?
I think
Wow.
call the meeting. This is a record.
It's
All right.
a record. So
Real record.
everyone.
All right.
Have a good night, guys.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.